We got the tank filling up right now. The rest of the way, we will find out what happens. So there is currently 160 gallons in the tank, and you can see, where it is relative to trim and the overflow box. And let's see if we can get a view of the overflow box as it creeps up here. There we go. Got it going down the overflow. And here it comes into there. It's a moment of truth for a lot of different stuff. Okay, so I stopped the pump because we have a leak. So it looks like we have a leak at the bulkhead, actually, on the connection between the overflow box here and the outside. So my options here are pretty limited right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to seal this up. I do have some other stuff I might be able to utilize for. Since they messed up the overflow box before, I might be able to just grab those O-rings there, because there's no O-ring between the overflow box here and this seal. So I'm wondering if it's leaking from there once it goes up, because it wasn't leaking when it was filled up within here, and there's an O-ring that presses up against here. So against the weir there's an O-ring, and then it goes bulkhead, and then there's no O-rings here. So I think maybe that's where the problem is, and maybe I could just add that. So I'm gonna get to that and then I'll update you guys. Update time. I fixed the leak that was coming from the box with those two seals, so that's all good. And then had a couple problems with a union back there, and then the union down there that goes on the return lines. All I need to do is tighten those ones up though. And right now I'm kind of back siphon testing to make sure the load is okay. We're getting pretty close right now, so I'll need to test this more once I get the actual stuff in here to account for any displacement that's going to happen. But I think I'm good if the power goes out. Who knows? Our big problem that we're facing is it doesn't look like any of my actual plumbing is leaking, but it looks like this ball valve, which is my primary drain, is actually leaking. It's leaking right out of that part. So if I turn this, if it's fully open or fully closed, it doesn't leak. But if it's anywhere between those 2 points, it will start to leak. So I think what I'm going to do as a stopgap is I'm going to order another one, because they owe me one anyways. Well, they owe me 2 3/4 inch ball valves. But for the gate valves, I'm going to just swap the emergency with the primary, and that should take care of it. What is it? This one. Yeah, this one. It doesn't turn as well, but I mean, I guess I don't need to mess around with it all that often anyways. So that's a huge pain in the ass, but luckily the plumbing is able to be taken apart right here. So I guess it's kind of a good thing that I got the threaded fittings instead. Maybe a lesson for anyone else who's looking to do this is the threaded fittings turned out to be pretty good. I put a lot of goop on them, and I made sure to tighten them pretty good as well. And it looks like it's working out. Just a little update as we've been talking. I don't know, that's maybe 2 inches that I have until the top, so I think it's done back siphoning. Anyways, I'm going to start fixing that, and then I'll update you again. Okay guys, I think we finally got it. So the swap was actually pretty easy. What I was able to do is I didn't have to take both ends off. I could just take this end off, so I just had to, you know, unscrew those and swap out the bulkheads, and that's because I made all these cuts the same. Wherever I can make a cut the same, I made it the same, so everything lined up good. No leaks. I added a little bit more water, so we're running a little bit higher because I added in a pinky filter because the water is getting pretty gross from sitting there. I added the sand, so it needs to kind of filter out through there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the pond matrix down here as well in this chamber, or actually I might stick it here for now because I'm going to throw in the algae scrubber there. What else? We got the pump running on, the pump's running on 4 to 5. So let's see what else. So this also comes with a sensor that I'll hook up, a level sensor. I featured that in the beginning of the video. Let me bring you around to the other side. So for the drain lines, this is what we have. Full siphon, open channel, emergency. I might end up bringing this up a little bit. I got to do some testing on it, but it will work. And it's a little bit noisy, but it has these little lids. So let's add those lids. So I can't hear anything now. I was also interested if the lids will impact the actual siphon or air that's being taken into there, but it looks like it doesn't affect it at all. So that's nice and silent with those covers on. These nozzles are super strong. That's a lot of flow. And I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for plumbing. It is a real pain in the ass. I got through it. I'll need to do a couple other tests to make sure all the emergency stuff works. Eventually we'll need to hook up the manifold. I'm thinking carbon, scrubber, and then UV whenever I get UV. That'll take a little bit more work to get those hooked up, but that's no big deal. I don't think I have much more to say in this video. The cycle is not progressing whatsoever, so whatever bacteria I'm using is just absolutely doing nothing. I might add a little bit of food to see if that'll kickstart it, but we'll see. That said, this is plumbing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.